Yeah, Ryan said he was getting a drink. Did you just get water?
I got both. Turning
Smart
water
man.
into beer over here, man.
You should have stopped.
Have you guys seen that? There's a TikTok video of a guy pretending to be at like the party Jesus was at when he turned water into wine, and he was like, "Why does he always make it Merlot? Can't he just make like Sauvignon Blanc or something different?"
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's fantastic. Look it up.
I like it though.
Those are the only two
Must
red
be a
wines that I
TikTok.
know. Red Blend. Mac, help me out here.
Well, red blend would be
Pinot
multiple
Noir.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pinot Noir is one. Yeah. But yeah, red
Alright.
blend is a mix of different grapes in there. So
I should just say
Cab Sav.
alcohol.
Just
Alcohol.
grape
Red
juice.
alcohol.
Any alcohol.
You know what? You do know what wine Jesus made, though, right? With his miracles, it wasn't Merlot.
I thought it was blood.
No, that's not what it is. It's
joke.
Manischewitz.
Man, shit.
Would you just call me?
It's the Jewish wine.
Oh.
Because
Now I feel bad.
He was.
Who knows? Is this
he's
really?
a Jew.
Oh,
It's
my
a Jew. Edit that out. Lightning strikes now.
Welcome to Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast with your tippers, Matt, Disfat.
These are just our tips, so take them easy, take them hard. It's up to you.
Ryan, the tagless Haynes,
most bizarre Haynes brief that there's ever been.
and Matt, I.R. Reagan.
Yeah, I hear you, and I definitely would take the shot on it because he'd be dumb not to.
Coming to you from the heart of New England. Get ready to take some tips.
I'm not Kyrie Irving, I swear. It was just a joke.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus Christ. It's exactly what I'm saying. Don't say that. Praise his name, Nigel. Praise his name. Name that movie.
Do it. You're killing us.
Wild Thornberries.
Nailed it. All right, get
It's
into
only
it.
Nigel I know.
Was that another Jesus pun with the crown of thorns? No.
What?
I'm
You
overthinking
gotta stop
it.
talking about Jesus. Holy shit. The replacements. The kicker was also named
Yes.
Nigel.
That was him. And
Is that
he's
what it
in
is?
House of Dragon. Yes, you're right.
He
You're
is a
right.
dragon.
Ryan, touche.
Way better Nigel than he was Hand to the King.
Yeah.
Sure.
No idea what his name is, but he did his part. Welcome in, takers, to Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast. Again, we start off with movies and TV, Ryan. We got to break that habit.
And religion,
I don't think
apparently.
people are liking it. And religion. Inappropriate jokes. Speaking of inappropriate, we got IR Regan back. Regan, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm feeling great. Good to see you, boys.
Yeah. It's good to see you too. Welcome back. We missed you, but your starts and sits. I don't know if you listened, but I don't think the takers took too kindly to your suggestions.
Why?
You said to sit Mark Andrews and start Taysom Hill over him. I don't get it.
Oh, I hate you guys. I did not listen, apparently.
Worse. Well, Mark Andrews wasn't the best player this week, so
No, but better than Taysom Hill, that's for sure.
he was, yeah.
But
About anybody at this point.
pretty much, even IR Regan, we could have started him instead and be doing better. Ryan the Tagless Haynes, you're here finally. Little peek behind the curtain, takers. He just woke up. He was still asleep from that boring ass New England Jets game yesterday. So he finally woke up and he joined the pod. So welcome, Ryan.
Listen, I watched one play of that game. Guess what it was?
The last one.
The last play. I was like, oh, sweet. That worked out.
Nice.
That's not true because they kicked it off too, you idiot.
Oh, and the PAT. Damn it. Never mind.
Didn't watch that.
Oh man.
I watched the whole
Regan all
game.
Tactical. well, you missed out on some much better football around the league, and we are
I
going to
switched back.
get into a little wrap up of the season, but it is Thanksgiving week, takers. I am Mac, this fat bitch. I don't know if I introduced myself properly to you takers out there. I will try not to breathe into the mic like I did last time. I am sorry for that. But we are recording on November 21st, Thanksgiving week. So
Monday.
it's Monday night. We don't usually do this. We don't usually perform like this. So maybe we're a little goofy, a little fresh off the weekend. But things will change. So all our advice, all our tips are subject to change. They might be smaller. They might curve a different way. So make sure you follow us. Just a tip, FFP. On Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and we're not on Snapchat. I don't know what else we're on, but follow those for some updates. If we got some for you, if we're to do a pivot, injury updates, our Regan's usually good with that with the graphics, man. So we appreciate it. Keep it up. Takers are enjoying it as well. Somebody mentioned that. They're like, oh, you do a pretty good job. I'm like, please, it's not me. God, it looked like a kindergarten's finger painting if I was doing it. So if you are watching us, just the tip, a fantasy football podcast on YouTube, subscribe and like, be much appreciated. Leave a comment and review on audio. Apple and Spotify, be much appreciated. Let us know if you're liking the new style of breaking it up into 3 parts. I know I'm enjoying it. So just trying out things there. So the numbers, they seem pretty even. So I'm just curious what people are enjoying more. So let us know. And thank you for downloading our tips and sharing them with your friends and family. Now that that's out of the way, guys. Tip-off question for you. Let's go. Thanksgiving food draft. Here we go.
Deboned chicken stuffed in a deboned duck stuffed in a deboned turkey with dressing between the chicken and the duck and the duck and the turkey.
Okay. I'm just kidding. We're not doing that. Everybody does that. It's way overplayed. Let's get into some real fantasy talk here for our part 1 in this series where we're going to cover the news and injury updates. But Ryan, give me somebody's pushing to the playoffs right now. They're either locked for a playoff spot or they're projected to make it. But you got a little tip, just a little tip for them as they head into the playoff season.
Yeah, I think my stance with this, with handcuffing, and this is what I'm going to get to, is generally I don't do it. I usually stay away from it. I think if you diversify, you're probably going to end up having, a guy who's going to get just as many carries as the handcuff, if not more opportunity throughout the year. But this is the time of year where I kind of look into that a little bit more because, boys, it's week 12. Injuries happen. If guys are kind of banged up and their team's well into a playoff spot, they got a weak matchup, they're going to be a little bit more conservative. They might sit them out. On the flip side, if you got a guy on a bad team and he's a little banged up, there's less incentive to actually play that player. So this is when I just take a look at the waiver wire. I might check to see, who's out there, what handcuffs are out there, especially for the running back position. I'm thinking Samaje Perine would probably be about a week behind on that. But Perine, Chuba Hubbard, whatever the fuck his name is,
Hubbard. I like
Dontrell Hilliard. I think those are 3 guys who are pretty readily available in most leagues, among other players. So just keep an eye out, check your waiver wire. And I think now's the time to maybe stash a handcuff or 2 just in case. Agree? Disagree?
No, I do agree. Sorry, I was trying to look up something. I do agree, especially on, say, a running back that has been going all season. History tells us the starting running back, they do not make the whole season. So if they have played every game thus far, knock on wood, but it's bound to happen.
Madison. Go get him.
Don't
at this
say
point, you probably have
Regan.
your core.
God damn it.
If you're a playoff team, you probably have your core,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
pick up those handcuffs for those guys just in case.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate it. Regan, you got a tip for us?
Yeah, so it's going to go along with yours, Max, so I won't get into it too much, but it's really it's clean up your lineup. I had a friend today show me his lineup. Had a bench spot open, a guy on IR in his on his bench. Don't be dumb. Throw that IR spot in your actual IR spot. Fill up
That's
that extra
you.
bench. Was it me? What?
2 weeks ago, you said you don't use your IR spot. What are you talking
No,
about?
I do not know how to
He
use
said he couldn't
Brian's
figure
IR
it out.
spot.
He said he couldn't figure it out.
It doesn't let me. I
He'd like
swear.
to use it.
On Yahoo. That's what
Yahoo
he's.
sucks.
1 out of 12
anyways,
players.
this is ESPN, just to let you know. But my friend, he left it his bench spot open, IR there. He was able to move his IR spot and grab 2 guys. Mac will get into the guys a spot I think you guys should pick up. But exactly what Ryan was saying, grab these backups. That's the time. Those are those spots. And also, we talked about it for the past 2 weeks. ESPN trade deadline is this week. Go make that quick move. Like, there's no reason. All that stuff, all that junk on your bench, those backups that you have. Say you have an Alexander Madison, but you don't have Dalvin Cook. You drafted him, but didn't want to drop him. Go trade him for something that, like, trade him for your backup. Trade him for something else. Trade him for something that makes more sense. Just clean everything up. Clean up your lineup. That's all it is.
Yeah, help out somebody else and help yourself out. More importantly,
That was the
I
best
get
trades.
it. Those are. We usually do those friendly trades. One hand washes the other. Imagine if we did
Literally and
that. Like,
figuratively.
if we wash each other's hands, that'd be weird. All right, mine. Simple little tip, little trick that I do. It's helped me in the past to win is stashing an extra defense. All right, if you have like 5 bench spots, you probably won't have that luxury. Right. But some leagues, they'll have 7 or 8. So I'm like, all right, I will take a defense. So looking ahead, for example, here, I'm going to drop my last quality wide receiver. That would be a bye week filler. Last bye week is week 14. So if you don't need that guy on week 14, barring injury, goes without saying. But you look ahead and you're like, all right, let me pick up this extra defense. So Denver's defense, they do pretty well against pretty much everybody. They keep the scoring low. They get some sacks. They get some turnovers. So Denver, week 15 is Arizona. Not great. Even Colt McCoy is moving the ball against the 49ers, who have a stout defense right now. But week 16, they have the LA Rams, which is the best matchup you want because their O-line is absolutely destroyed. They are checked out, Super Bowl hangover, and lots of other compounding factors. So, all right, week 15, not great, but week 16 is Kansas City. They haven't these defenses, if you notice, they're not the number one scoring, but so they're widely available. Kansas City, week 15 is Houston. That's going to be the number one defense on the week, guys. So you start out your playoffs pretty swell. Week 16 is Seattle, so you don't want to do that. But get this, week 17 is Denver. If Russ is still trying to cook, it's going to be some pretty bad leftover microwave food there. So
I was going to say, he's microwaving. He's not cooking.
So after week 16, you're using Denver's defense. You drop them after week 16, and then you just roll with Kansas City on week 17. And then you probably play some keep away for that championship week. Just a little tip for you takers out there. If you have any questions, let us know. Just a tip, FFP. What do you guys think? You look like a guy that would carry 3 defenses, Regan.
I carry 2 in a couple. Not going to lie. But exactly what you said.
2.
If they have a deeper bench, why not? I did the same thing this week. That same guy I was ridiculing for not having his bench filled up. I was like, I grabbed Washington last week and played him this week. Number 1. Like, why wouldn't you just do something like that?
I switched out New England for Washington last second. I was like, I like this matchup better. Yeah, but still, 3 points makes a difference. Just ask Zach Wilson.
That was a good one.
All right. And with that, takers, we're going to get into the Haynes' briefs here. Maybe that one.
Sweet sassy molassie.
My favorite part of the 3-part episodes is that I can skip the Haynes brief.
I mean,
it feels wrong, but it feels right at the same time.
it is very brief this week though, because not much has happened.
Yeah, that was a good segue into the conversation we're about to have, which is, are the Jets going to play Zach Wilson or Joe Flacco? What is Robert Saleh gonna do?
Mike fucking White. That's what he's gonna do.
You think Mike White? Joe Flacco, he's looking pretty good earlier this year.
He hasn't been active, but yeah, it would be the right move.
It's funny because the guys asking him, the reporters, they were asking about White and not Flacco at all.
Yeah.
So
well, he has been suiting up. So
is he hurt? Is he just like, I'm old and I don't really want to play?
Just old.
Or?
No,
he's getting paid to sit on the bench with the coat on. I would do that too.
Guys, they are imploding. That it's just they probably won't win another game at all this year. It's bad.
They play the Patriots. Happens every time.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about momentum. Yeah, two losses. They're 6-2 against the rest of the league. 0-2 against the Pats.
Mm-hmm.
Feels beat the Bills. What the hell?
Makes
if
no
only
sense.
we could beat the Dolphins. I mean, Jesus Christ! Talk about the worst team to lose to year in and year out here. Anything else on Zach Wilson?
Nope. Too long.
Really.
Too long. I vote with cap because we're all wearing caps here. But no
Zach
cap.
Wilson's...
Never talking about Zach Wilson again.
Okay.
Agreed. Unless it's a really funny joke. All right. Moving on.
I was just trying to make a mom's friend joke. That's all. You said it was really long. That's what his mom's friend said. That's what I was going for there.
I'm sorry.
All
I
right.
stepped on your really long joke.
Fair enough. All right. Good joke to step on. All right. Here we go. College prep. Go, Mac. Hit the button. Do it. What other game?
Literally was going to look up something, and I was like, "Damn it! I totally forgot to drop. My bad."
What other game? Don't worry.
Oh, man.
That's Michigan at Ohio State, number 3 versus number 2. Even Reeves, who doesn't even watch college football all that much, is going to be into this game. You got defensive juggernaut Michigan. They haven't allowed more than 17 points more than once this season. That was a weird way to say it, but one time have allowed more than 17 points. They have 5'8" Blake Corum at running back, just putting up insane stats. That dude's a beast. Other side of the ball, offensive juggernaut, Ohio State, CJ Stroud, Marvin Harrison Jr. Does that name sound familiar, fellas?
Wild.
Beast 24 draft. Just keep your eyes out for him. Trevion Henderson.
I'm sorry, just his catch.
Insane.
When he was just doing like the splits just to get his foot inbounds was insane. I loved it.
Dude, he is an absolute stud. He's going to be a top 5 pick in 24 in your rookie drafts. Maybe in the NFL draft. I don't know. And freshman last week, running back for Ohio State, Dallin Hayden, 146 yards and 3 touchdowns against Maryland. It's going to be a hell of a game, boys. And by the way, did you see Jordan Addison last week? Now with USC, 178 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. Dude is also a beast. Next year's draft.
College.
I did not
prep.
watch.
I have a degree, but other than that, college means nothing to me.
Except for Dynasty. You check in around like February, March.
Yeah,
and you're
exactly.
good.
I did a lot of research this year for the first
You
year
do,
of
yeah.
Dynasty.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No,
I just wanted to bring up Melvin Gordon getting dropped. I thought that was wild.
Yeah, I meant to add that. Yeah, we might talk a little bit more about the Denver backfield later on in part 3. But do you think he's going to land anywhere and stink up the place at all?
I don't think he's making an impact all that much. Not at this point.
Take away snaps. That's all.
Maybe eventually.
We'll have to wait till we see it.
Probably go to like Philly and start taking away from Miles Sanders. That'll be my luck.
Perfect.
Probably should happen.
Mac is
Mac,
mean
you
mugging
okay?
someone.
Oh no,
You
I was
good?
just looking
You
up.
checked
I was
out.
just I was looking up. I'm sorry.
He's staring in a mirror, just
You
mad
fall
at
asleep,
himself.
dude?
No, did you see USC Travis Dye, little college edition of the Hurt Locker, getting season-ending injury, but he was second among the Pac-12 in rushing, 95 yards per game, and he's a senior. Really sucks because he was a good running back. Hopefully he drops a little bit in our rookie drafts, and we can hopefully drop to the third round, please, because that's all I have next year. So, but we will get into a deeper, much deeper dynasty outlook episode sometime in the near future. Probably, I don't know, during the NFL playoffs when there's nothing else much to do because our seasons will be over. So we'll try to get into it at that time, but it'll be good. Anything else for college prep? All right.
That's it.
Enough of that.
Graduated.
Can we throw our caps now?
Ah! 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 Ah!
All right, fellas, we're in the Hurt Locker. It is
Hurts.
not. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's bad. It's really bad. No. Anyways, it's mostly bad. There's 3 goods. We'll save the goods for the end because
Oh,
you need
geez.
a little pick me up. So, and this isn't even all of them, but I did all the majority, the big ones. Mike Williams, this one killed me. I know we all threw him in our lineups last second. Made a great turnaround catch and then walked off the field. Re-injured that same ankle he's been out on. He aggravated that. Word is that it's not as significant as the last one, but an ankle injury on top of an ankle injury, I think that's significant. I'm expecting him to miss a week or 2 at minimum. Justin Fields, shoulder. So this happened, I believe, in the 4th quarter, guys, yet he still played, and they got carted off later. Looking into this, I don't know. Like, in my eyes, in my head, I'm like, oh, it's really good that he played with it. But I'm like, he got carted off later. Like, maybe he heard it more. Like, maybe it wasn't good that he stayed in. So this is one that we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on because that is pretty huge. He's day-to-day right now. Darrell Henderson felt something pop in his knee. So he is going to probably be out for a little bit. I don't know. We can talk about it after, about Akers. He looked pretty good, had 50 yards rushing. The fact that Matthew Stafford might be out. Oh, wait, Matthew Stafford, concussion. At least in the concussion protocol. I wrote insert Regan's crying meme here. We need to make one of those because this is so sad.
I got the overlay. Here you go. It looks just like you. Oh, sorry.
It's not even crying.
Oh, he's smiling. Never mind.
Anyways, yeah. So Darrell Henderson and Matthew Stafford both injured. That the Rams are falling hard. Another big one, which I sadly think it might help out some teams and by not playing him, is Kyle Pitts. Knee injury, placed on IR, torn MCL. This is rough. The thing is, he wasn't doing it for you week in and week out. So this just gives you some guidance. Let the guy rest. Come back next year. Joe Mixon, concussion protocol. This one really sucks. P. Ryan had a game and a half. Yes, Mac, a game and a half. It was amazing. Chase Edmonds, high ankle sprain so he's on Denver now, in case you guys missed that. So the starting running back there is Latavius Murray, it looks like, guys, after the droppage. Ouch.
We talking about Melvin Gordon or
I was just gonna say, what do we?
We're talking about Melvin Gordon. He was dropped from Denver. He's now a free agent. They lost Chase Edmonds. CH, high ankle sprain. What?
He shouldn't be on your roster. Shouldn't be on your roster.
No.
Don't even
cut
waste
him.
your time.
He never was on my roster.
He's a smart man.
Kadarius Toney. This one really stinks because I thought I really had something, especially in Dynasty. Hamstring injury, left the game. Hamstrings are huge for wide receivers. We just saw what Keenan Allen went through. That was a long, long trip back to playing. So let's see what the severity is on this one, but they need him desperately. That the wide receiving core is demolished there. Wan'Dale Robinson, ACL, torn out for season for the Giants, rookie wide receiver. That was rough. He was really coming on. Some good news, guys. Corey Davis, maybe good news. I don't know if you want to talk about that other guy.
In your face and he just sits in there and delivers it really well.
Oh, his quarterback won't be delivering it to him because he sucks. But Corey Davis, knee listed day today. The team is hopefully comes back this coming up week. Jamar Chase, hip injury. This is obviously he's been out for a little bit. He is starting to work his way back in with the team, so that's great news. I don't see him playing this week, but they did not close the door on that. So the next 2 weeks you should have him back. I'm hoping. Jameson Williams, ACL, so wide receiver, Detroit wide receiver, rookie wide receiver. I believe he tore his ACL 11 months ago. Finally making his way back into the practice window to get him cleared fully off IR and back with the team and starting. That'd be great news for Jameson. That is about it, fellas. This is Monday, so please be aware that there are some other injuries that might pop up. These are just the ones that I can find right now. I actually had to do extra research just to find some of the actual injuries themselves. So rough, but just stay focused as we're getting later in the year. So these mean a lot more, especially for long term.
Still need more information for sure to come out, and they need it. Some more evaluations. It sucks for Wan'Dale Robinson, man. He was showing some promise as a rookie. I thought it was the year of the rookie wide receivers. I still do, but that really sucks. Mike Williams, though, you can't drop Josh Palmer. No. I think you can start him even when Mike Williams comes back, but he just might be cursed this year. I don't know.
I'm trying to blank Mac, tight end for Chargers.
Gerald Everett.
So he was out last week. Hoping he comes back this week. I think he kind of Carter, their wide receiver, has kind of been filling in a little bit. I expect him just kind of like dissipate, and it's the wide receiver game then. But Palmer is definitely a star. He had a huge game this week, over 100 yards receiving.
Yeah, I started McKitty once Everett was out. I was like, all right, well, hopefully he gets some tight end targets, and nothing.
He just doesn't like his name.
Scared of cats?
It's a phobia.
All right, Ryan, you got anything?
No, now I'm just going to refer to him as Trey McPuss.
Jesus. Guys, are we picking up Cam Akers?
Sorry, I thought we were done. If
If
you are desperate for a running back, and he's a starter, okay, have fun.
Josh
Enjoy
Palmer
that journey.
Might have been dropped last week since Mike Williams and Keenan Allen came back. Just take a look. It's a possibility. You might be lucky in your league. Go grab him.
Yeah, Josh Palmer, he is – I just had it 64%. Oh, no, that's Jacoby Myers.
Oh, my God.
Nope, I was right. I'm sorry. 64.
Yeah,
64%.
Myers should be 100%.
Yeah, he's 82, right on the line. I'm sorry.
That's a good number.
Excel. That is a good number. These Excel spreadsheets, man. Just barely a gray fade. It's hard to read the column there. Ryan, forgive me. Anything else on the Hurt Locker?
Nope. Like I said, just be wary. There probably is more.
Mm-hmm.
You are fake news.
All right, takers. We are going to get it's a part 2 here on our episode. Oh my God, 47 guys of the season. Incredible. Week 11 is in the books. Week 12, the playoff push, Thanksgiving week. Nobody is on bye week. So it is a full slate of games, endless possibilities, endless tips going to be coming at you. But first, let's look at what we did last week with our risque starts and sits.
All we do is sit around here and guess what a bunch of little pricks are going to go and do out there. Then we come back at half time and we complain because they didn't do exactly what we thought they'd do.
So, speaking of Roy Kent, I just watched Thor: Love and Thunder and end credit scenes. He's in it. I don't want to spoil it for people, but he's going to be in the
Thor:
MCU.
Love and Thunder from like 8 years ago.
It was from earlier this year, but yeah, I wasn't going to go waste my money at the theater with that.
8 months ago.
I didn't either.
Freaking. I'm sorry about the Marvel movies. We need a whole nother podcast of how far they've fallen. Anyway, moving on. Regan with calls of the week this week. You were pretty right on.
Yeah, so I've been saying for the past 2 weeks, ever since Josh Allen's elbow injury, I'm thinking they're going to lean on this run. Devin Singletary, I said start him with confidence. I didn't follow my advice in one league, and it might cost me a game just because I thought Kenyon Drake was going to come back and be a stud after Gus Edwards was called out. But it is what it is. But either way, Devin Singletary, 18 for 86 and a touchdown. And with another 2 catches, 2 for 2 and 11 yards, 17.7 fantasy points. Love that. That's 2 weeks in a row that he's been absolutely killing it. Keep playing him. They're going to lean on him. This is great for the Buffalo's offense in general to kind of give some relief to Josh Allen. And then my bench was DJ Moore. We obviously PJ Walker wasn't the starter. We had some jabroni that I will not mention names because I hope PJ Walker just takes over this again after he comes back from injury. But DJ Moore, 3 for 5, a whopping 24 yards. Bench him. I am all set.
Yeah, I'm all set with him too. I'm glad I didn't try to trade low for him, but should we just drop him right now and hopefully somebody else picks him up and plays him week 14?
That exactly what I was going to say. Great question. That if you drop him, somebody else is going to be like, oh, big name. Let me play him. And he gets them a whopping 4 points. I think that's a great call. And the only thing is if PJ Walker comes back and plays, then he might have a decent week in general.
Yeah, he might.
It's the only thing I'm worried about. But, you might like we talked about, and, the first part of this episode, we're getting to the end of our season. You have your lineup set up. If you've been relying on DJ Moore, you got to keep him. If not, go get some backups. You got one more week to trade. Go trade DJ Moore. You might still be able to get something for his name. Obviously, you're not going to get a lot, but you might be able to get something. So,
Looking ahead at his schedule, though, say PJ Walker comes back or Sam Darnold and starts turning it up. Week 14 at Seattle. Week 16 Detroit.
Cool.
Can I entice you at putting DJ Moore, Ryan, in your flex semifinals week against
PJ
Detroit?
Walker is the QB.
Oh, man.
I'm hoping that's
too far ahead. Why not?
I know. We don't need to look at that.
Yeah. Oh, that is a nauseating circumstance to think about. That's for sure. You got money in the line at that point, and you got to play DJ Moore in your flex.
Mm-hmm. Really
I don't have
hoping
any DJ Moore shares.
I was gonna say, I really hope that happens to somebody except me. Yeah, I didn't have the best week with my advice, guys. I'm sorry, takers. Bit of low-hanging fruit, though. I did say Montgomery, he'll get back in the end zone. He'll bounce back. Then Fields will share a bit. Montgomery had 17 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown. Then he was 3 receptions for 54 yards. So that's nice. He'll take that any day of the week. And with his shoulder injury now, we'll get into our start sits with quarterbacks. But with Fields, he might have to be giving him the ball more. Montgomery, that is. So. And I messed up Kadarius Toney, guys. What a disappointment. He even got
injury doesn't count.
I really don't think that he would have done too well because it's just Travis Kelce against the Chargers every time. It's the LA Chargers versus Travis Kelce. It's not even with Mahomes, I guess, but
and the Chargers lost.
I do
to one
that.
guy.
No, they can't stop him. But I did say, watch Travis Kelce have like 4 touchdowns, and he almost got there. So, yeah. How about you, Ryan? How are your risque tips?
All I have to say is Regan is king.
Let me write this down.
This is the only time I'll ever say that, but his risque starts and sits every week. Seems to he nails it. So if you're gonna pay attention to one guy, apparently it's him.
This week's gonna suck.
Yeah, I feel like it's like Regan, Mac, and myself. I wish we kept track of the percentage because I'm really tanking. But ironically, I think I had the best winning percentage of all of us in our leagues. So I'll take that win.
Wow, low blow. I already got hit there once this week. Jerk.
No, listen. I said Isaiah Pacheco. I'm not. It wasn't a great start anyway, and for the exact reason why I said it's not going to be a great start. He crossed over the 100-yard mark. I didn't expect that, but he didn't get any catches. He gets no involvement in the passing game whatsoever.
None.
He's going to be totally touchdown dependent, but he's going to see a lot of carries, especially with CEH out, even though he was taking most of the work from him anyway. This team's going to be on the goal line, so you can play him. He's probably going to have those weeks where he gets in once or twice and gets into 20 points, 25 points. So in the future, don't be surprised if I flip-flop on Isaiah Pacheco. But yeah, last week was what I kind of expected it to be.
I can see the weeks that you go into flip-flop. Week 15 and 16, Houston and Seattle.
Oh, playoff time.
He should go off. I can't wait to be like, yep, we're putting in Pacheco for our playoffs. I can't wait.
Sure. Pacheco and DJ Moore. Lock them up. Lock and load.
Well, let's not get crazy here. All right, guys. Let's Thanksgiving week here. So let's get into our DFS lineups for Thanksgiving week off of DraftKings. Hopefully that's what you guys did too. But if you did FanDuel, that's fine too. Who would like to go first?
I did 2 on accident, so I got to figure out which one I want to tell the people.
I'll go first. All right, listen.
All right.
I did.
Ladies first.
I couldn't get into my DraftKings lineup or my DraftKings app.
What?
So I have no idea what the cost was. So I was just ballparking it here. All right. So at quarterback, Josh Allen. You gotta have Josh Allen this week against Detroit. 100% guaranteed. By far the worst secondary on Turkey Day.
Yep.
Ramondre Stevenson is going to have a bounce back week. You saw what Dallas did against Minnesota last week. You saw it. It's going to happen again. Ramondre is going to have a game. It's shoot, I lost it. What's the saying? Ramondre, whatever. Fucking whatever.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about. Jesus, let's just leave him hanging though, Ryan. Regan.
Thanks.
This
Love
is
it.
great.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. What was the saying with Ramondre? Like Mondre season or Ramondre season or something like that.
Oh, Ramondre season. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. And other running back, Justin Jackson. So the reason why I like Justin Jackson is because Detroit is going to be playing from behind this whole game, to the point where they might even be out of this game. Now, Justin Jackson in DFS is a player that can kind of put you over the top. So if you find that it's going to be, I don't know, 42-17 Buffalo in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left, guess who they're giving the ball to? Not Jamal Williams, not DeAndre Swift, Justin Jackson. So I could see him getting 15 carries. I could see him getting a few receptions. I could see him getting into the 12 to 15 point. It's a long shot, but it's DFS, boys. Khalif Raymond, going with him. So I'm going to go a little bit more into that in the risque starts and sits. But Raymond, Stephon Diggs, lock and load. Jonnu Smith at tight end. He's getting more usage. I think he's a nice tight end play this week. Darius Slayton for the Giants. Wan'Dale Robinson is out. You touched on that, Reegs. I'm going Slayton. And is it another receiver, Mac, you said? Let me think.
You have 8,400 left in your budget. You could put Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, or Amon-Ra St. Brown, or Gabe Davis.
Jefferson.
There you go.
Bounce back week.
Oof. All right. That is your lineup. And you know what? I'm going to submit it right now. Just in case that wins. We'll see which one does.
Wow. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
What do you put, like 10 cents on it?
50 cents. That's fine. Just doing the lineup, bro.
Wow.
Not investing that much. I don't care about your calls, your tips that much. You know, whose tips I do like, though. Regan, put some sanity in here. Don't put Justin Jackson in your lineup, please.
Not happening. We're gonna start it off with Dak Prescott. We're gonna switch it up. Josh Allen, I feel like he's been leaning a little bit away from the passing. Like I said, they've been running the ball. It's he's not gonna have a crazy game because he doesn't need to. He's probably gonna rest his elbow if he can. We'll get into the running backs. Tony Pollard. We'll get into it in the risky starts, but I think he's a great play this week. We're going to get into in general. Zeke just came back from, injury with his knee. Pollard's getting all the passing work. He's getting majority of the rushing work. Even if he splits the rushing work, I still see him getting all the passing work versus the Giants. Ramondre Stevenson versus Minnesota. You can't not play Ramondre Stevenson like we were talking about earlier, right? Great call. I'm going to go Stephon Diggs over Justin Jefferson. Stephon Diggs, touchdown last week. I continue to get a touchdown. He was on a little bit of a slump, but versus this Detroit secondary, Josh Allen's going to feed his favorite target. Jacoby Myers, my boy. I love this guy. Third down conversion specialist. He's going to be a PPR machine to keep this game going. New England's going to have a tough time with Minnesota in their offense, so they're going to need to keep the ball in their hands and out of Kirk Cousins. Darius Slayton as my third wide receiver, and I've been loving it. I grabbed them in a couple leagues these past couple weeks, over double digit points for a while. It's been amazing. So you're going to play him as the number one wide receiver in New York. Dalton Schultz, my tight end, needless to say, my flex, Devin Singletary. He's going to get the touchdown work. I'm expecting at least 2 touchdowns this week versus Detroit. I love this. And then the Patriots defense. You were playing versus Minnesota. I'm very worried about playing Dalvin Cook this week. The Patriots are going to shut down one of these guys. And I'm not saying completely out, but Justin Jefferson or Dalvin Cook, one of them is not going to have the crazy game that you're expecting versus a team that scored 3 points last week before a fluke special teams play. So Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, I want to bench Kirk Cousins one more week as well, looking at this matchup.
Someone wake me up now. Jesus. Tell me something I don't know, Reeks.
Can you tell me some of the players you had on your team? I don't even know their names.
That's the point. This is the $1 million lineup here.
I get $200 in salary to spare.
There's always somebody random on Thanksgiving Day, so we'll see what happens. But I also have Dak Prescott as my quarterback, Regan. Trying to save some money instead of Josh Allen. Devin Singletary and Ramondre Stevenson as my running backs, the 1-2 punch there. It's Detroit, like you were saying with Josh Allen. I think they're just going to run over him. Not saying Josh Allen won't be the number 1 QB, but saving a couple grand, that's what I'm going to do.
A lot. He's 8,000.
And Dak is 6,200, so 1,800. That math checks out.
That's math.
Beep, beep, boop, boop. Wide receivers, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, and Amon-Ra St. Brown are my 3 wide receivers. Look at that lineup. And Dalton Schultz as my tight end. New England Patriots as my defense. And this guy is my sleeper for Thanksgiving Day. Khalil Shakir for Buffalo. I just think Detroit, they're like, all right, try to take out Diggs, contain Josh Allen, and this guy is going to bust a big one Thanksgiving.
Do you know him personally?
Damn it.
Intimately is the word, I think.
Yeah. What about Gabe Davis?
I couldn't afford him. Couldn't put him in there.
Yeah, no
Guys,
Gabe Davis.
I can actually put Gabe Davis over Myers. Do I do it?
Yeah.
I think I leave Myers.
You want to aim for the games that are going to have a higher point total. So that's my strategy.
Jacoby Myers getting a touchdown.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the 4th one ever.
Yeah, you heard it here, guys. Jacoby Myers should be in all your redraft lineups, dynasty lineups, and DFS. Totally
That's
different
a great
style.
flex play. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's all right. Turkey Day. Games, guys. Let's go through some players here.
Deboned chicken stuffed in a deboned duck stuffed in a deboned turkey with dressing between the chicken and the duck and the duck and the
Good
turkey.
one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic John Madden, guys. And but yeah, we're wasting time here. Josh Allen, auto start. Jared Goff, don't waste my time. Daniel Jones and Dak Prescott, guys. Can these both be started? Daniel Jones losing Wandale, who got a majority of his points, but you looking to go elsewhere? Remember, no bye weeks this week.
Yep.
So do we have to start Daniel Jones?
Hopefully Daniel Jones was not your starter. Would you agree, Ryan?
Lots of people have been starting him. He's been all right.
As their
I would say you should have another quarterback on your roster because he was probably added to your team. I think that's what Regan's getting at. So
I got
he
you.
wasn't probably like primarily your starting quarterback, but you could play the matchups. And man, he's been doing me solid. So
he's
yeah.
10th quarterback on the year, guys. 10th quarterback on the year. Put some respect on his name. Say we get to Thursday, Regan, and we are nervous that Justin Fields might not play with his shoulder injury. He is day to day. Do we play it safe? We play Daniel Jones, or we hold out for Justin Fields, and then have to play like a Andy Dalton instead if Justin Fields isn't able to go.
Andy Dalton's been killing it.
He's fluky.
Yeah, fluky with 3 touchdowns a week.
Daniel Jones was the QB3 last week, man. Come on.
Anyways,
and the week before, 21 points. So
if that is your best option between your free agency and on your team, Daniel Jones being your play over Justin Fields, absolutely, I'm playing him.
Okay, not a must start though. That's what I'm saying.
Not for me.
Must sit Kirk Cousins, Mac Jones, and Jared Goff for Thanksgiving Day. Dak, auto play. He's been killing it. Top 10 in the last 3 games. So Dak attack.
Yeah, Josh and Dak automatic starts. Primetime Kirk Cousins, all set.
Oh, no. That's what I'm saying. Play the Patriots defense.
I just want to say this real quick. So what do you guys think about going forward? Because I think you guys can still play Kirk Cousins after the Pats. He's got the Jets, the Lions, the Colts, Giants, and Green Bay.
It's not the best, man, and he can really kill you with putting up a performance like he did this past week.
It's not Kirk though. It's not Kirk. His offensive line was
absolutely
atrocious.
Destroyed.
So once they get some guys back, he should be fine. Hopefully that was just a fluke.
Hopefully. Running backs, Dalvin Cook, you're starting. Saquon, you're starting. Ramondre, you're starting. Singletary, starting. Jamal Williams, guys, he's your RB2. He's their goal line back. He has 11 touchdowns on the year. Can you believe that?
Touchdown per game.
It's just a great offense. The Lions. DeAndre Swift, avoid him if you can, right? 3 touchdowns in the last 4 games, but he has no more than 10 touches. So, yeah, I don't want him.
Agreed.
All right.
The Lions are like what the Texans used to be when Matt Schaub was the quarterback.
Ooh, what
it's like Andre Johnson,
Stevie Johnson,
Arian Foster, Matt Schaub. Matt Schaub was a beast in fantasy. The guy would put up points upon points, and their defense was shit, and they just put up 1 million points every single week. It was fantastic.
So do you think there's any spot or any room for some garbage points for Detroit?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. And Justin Jackson.
They have one of the best O-lines in the league, too. And that's why they score. That's why Jamal Williams has so many goal line touches and scores, because they just get such a good push. And Buffalo is dealing with more injuries on the D-line this week.
That's what I was worried about.
Trap game? Could they make it a 4-game winning streak? I don't know. I'm not going that way. All right, so we're not going to talk about obvious starts. Zeke and Pollard, we're starting them. Pollard, number 1 running back on the week. I'm nervous. I am nervous about this, though. 46 touches in the last 2 games here, Regan. Do you think we'll see like an even split this week on a short week?
Yeah, so I said this a little earlier. I think Pollard's a 100% go. Zeke, like I said, it's a short week. He just played Sunday night. coming off an injury. Zeke, he's definitely going to get more carries. They're definitely going to keep building him up. But like I said, short week, Pollard's going to get majority of the carries and all the passing downs for the most part. And he just had some crazy weeks these past couple weeks. He's just not going to disappear. So Pollard, I think, is a must start. And then Zeke, honestly, I'm only throwing him in as like a flex or something like that. I think he's a low end RB2 at best.
Okay.
He stole 2 touchdowns last week. Odds are he's probably not going to be able to steal 2 next week.
Probably not. Giants defense is probably going to be a little bit more prepared than the Vikings.
Blindsided.
Everybody else, wide receivers, obvious ones you started. Darius Slayton, willing to flex him, I guess.
For sure.
Oh yeah,
4 games in a row with 12 or more points. So yeah, he's a good wide receiver.
Every year
3.
he does it. Every year Darius Slayton has like a 4 or 5 game stretch where he's very consistent.
Under the radar. Players to avoid: KJ Osborne, Adam Thielen. He should be dropped. He shouldn't even be on your roster. 2 touchdowns on the year, Regan. Pathetic. Michael Gallup, not right, coming back from his surgery. But you don't want to drop Thielen. Sorry, I'm skipping over that.
No, it's fine. Thielen, week 1, he had 4 targets. This past week, he had 4 targets. Other than that, he's averaged 7.5 targets per game from week 2 to the week before last. He's averaging 7 targets per game in general through this whole season. If I'm getting somebody with 7 targets, you're going to get him. He's getting a minimum 9 to 12 points per week. It's not bad for a flex play. Obviously, it depends on who you have, but I don't want to drop Thielen. You're giving another team in your league a decent flex play with upside.
Or you're giving him a DJ Moore.
Yeah, that's
DJ Moore hasn't got close to 7 targets a game on average.
He has more touchdowns though.
It's one game.
I'm not
surprisingly.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not starting him. Okay, yeah, DJ Moore has 1 more touchdown than him. Phew. Okay. I'd rather take a shot on freaking Demarcus Robinson, man, and see what that becomes.
Oh yeah,
drop Adam Thielen to grab him. Like 88% roster for Adam Thielen. Hopefully you're not starting him.
Trade
unless you absolutely need him. All right, tight ends: Hawkinson, Knox. I think they're the best tight end plays you can do. Dalton Schultz as well.
Yep.
Defenses: New England, Buffalo, Dallas. That's all you're playing with.
In that order?
New England. Yeah. New England, Buffalo, Dallas. Because New England's going to get Judon's going to get at least 3 sacks.
God, he's killing it.
They're probably going to get 6 again, like they did against the Jets.
Pick. It's Kirk Cousins.
They're going to have a pick. Jack Jones, pick 6. Prime
geez.
time. Yeah, let's see it.
I like it, though.
Anything else for Thanksgiving preview, guys?
Guys, I had a revelation yesterday where I just think I look forward to the Thanksgiving sandwich more than Thanksgiving dinner afterwards. I literally just want to skip Thanksgiving.
Or the next day.
Oh, it could be that night. Depends on how early. Like I'm eating dinner, I think, at like a 3. So if I was eating dinner at like 1, I could have one at like 10 o'clock, halftime of the Pats game.
I don't rush it. The sandwiches I'll get to later. It's okay.
I eat it for like 2 days.
Yeah, after that you got to throw out the leftovers. You're done.
No, you just eat them.
Or you
that
eat them
day, that minute. I'm gonna need more gravy, Mom.
All right, who you picking? Buffalo or Lions? Buffalo.
Dallas.
Giants. I was trying to remember the order. This one's tough. Do the Giants bounce back and split because Dallas won earlier this year? I'm gonna go upset. I'm gonna go Giants.
I'm going Dallas just based on the Giants wide receiver situation right now.
Makes sense. I just expect a grinding game for some reason.
I think this next game is like a trap game.
This one, New England Vikings bouncing back. Let's go. Screw New England.
It's at home for the Vikings. I agree. I got a feeling like it's somewhat of a trap game.
For who?
The Vikings.
Okay, like I have to ask the question. I don't know.
No, you're right.
They were too busy smelling their own farts on the plane, dancing around, and they're like,
Dude.
"Oh, we're not that good." Oops,
dude.
Kind of reminds me of the Steelers a couple years ago when they had that undefeated season.
I'm gonna pick Pats just for the fun of Thanksgiving.
All right, sounds good.
I gotta go Vikes, I guess.
Loser.
Cowboys, Vikes. Yeah.
I love it. All right.
Like when I see Charles come again and again and again and again and again, that gives me fucking hope.
Oh boy.
You hear his speech this morning? I recorded it or replayed it. He literally sounds like I don't know if he smokes a lot or drinks a lot. I feel bad for his throat. Like it's aggressive.
He just yells a lot. That's all.
He
It's
yells all
really
the time.
what it is.
He talks.
How he talks.
He just yells. Yeah.
He has a bunch of
It's
kids
all
too,
mental.
so he has to come home and yell at his kids too.
Oof.
Take out the trash. 10 burpees in the driveway. Let's go. All right, takers. We are going to get into some sexy flexy time.
Ooh.
Guys, takers, we can't cover everybody. We record once a week. We're not getting paid. We're just fantasy influencers, and we win a lot. So we're just trying to give you our tips. So we're gonna shut up, Regan. Son of a bitch. Debo touchdown.
Ooh, he's over 9 though. Fuck.
Way over 9 on that play alone.
James Conner punched one in too, baby.
Nice.
Here we come.
Oh.
All right, takers, back on track here. We're not going to go over obvious players, I don't think. Some that you might have questions on, like, oh, you might think it's a no-brainer, but in context, it might not be. Toss out a few names here, but as always, reach out to us, just a tip, FFP. If you have a certain question, lots of people, they'll send us screenshots, trade advice, start sits, whatever. We share it in our group text, and we let you know our thoughts. QBs, guys. Full slate to pick from. Tom Brady coming off the bye week, guys. He's been turning on late against Cleveland. He's been struggling, so you haven't been starting him, but do you think you should against Cleveland? Will he be a top 12 QB this week?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Like, Cleveland has been hurting versus the run, which sounds weird when we're talking about Tom Brady, but I feel like it's going to really open up this game for Tom Brady. They're going to be able to run the ball effectively, and he will be able to have a little bit more time in the pocket, and that's what Tom Brady needs. Even though
look at the
play
difference.
action.
Yeah.
Look at the difference last week against Seattle. I mean, they finally were able to open up the passing game a little bit because Rachaad White was able to do something on the ground. So they need it. It's complimentary. They need it.
Absolutely. So let's look at this. Lamar Jackson. He's been struggling lately. Started out hot. 3 top 12 finishes in the last 7 starts, guys. It's not good, but can you start him with confidence against Jacksonville?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I started with confidence last week against Carolina. That really came back to bite me in the ass. I had Daniel Jones on the bench tearing it up with like 26 points.
I had Justin Fields on the bench, and I lost by 3 points, so I don't want to hear it. Yeah. Justin Fields had like 50,
playing
52
Lamar
guys.
Jackson.
You're playing him? He's been hurting you. He's been losing you weeks.
He had an illness last week, guys. Give the guy a break.
He doesn't have many weapons.
Got Mark Andrews back.
And I wanted to bring this up. He's not running the ball as much. He has the opportunities, but he's not. Is he worried about his contract? He does not want to get hurt because he is wanting to get it next year.
I don't know if it's that. I think it might be game plan, man. I think it might be scheme.
Really?
Honestly, you go
Okay.
back and look at the beginning of the year, right? And they couldn't win games. They couldn't get over the top. He's doing worse, but the team's doing better. They're on like what, a 4 or 5 game winning streak at this point. I mean, they're winning ball games. So
Good point.
Well, we don't care about their wins and losses. What the hell?
no,
don't
I
they
don't.
ever
I have
care
Lamar
about us?
Jackson.
I'm
Get
only
those 50
kidding.
point games back.
I'm only kidding. All right, so Kyler Murray, guys, usually you start him without question, but he's out again tonight versus San Fran. If he's active against the Chargers in this juicy matchup, do you play him without question, or do you roll with the guys you've been streaming with?
Yeah.
I'd play him.
Yeah, you're playing him. The news is, though, they might keep him out till their week 13 bye.
They have the bye week the next week. Yeah, I'm curious.
The word is they might be keeping him out.
Ugh, don't like
depending
the sound
on
of
how
that.
these next two go.
Do you play Colt McCoy with Hopkins and Marquise
Yes.
Brown? And
I think so against the Chargers. So if you are not confident in Lamar Jackson or Tom Brady, you're like, yeah, the running game's going to go off. And Colt McCoy is available. It sounds strange, but the Chargers are letting up so many points to the quarterback position, and with his weapons, I don't hate it. Or if you're in a pinch with other quarterbacks that you been struggling with, like Justin Fields, you're nervous about his shoulder if he can't go, and it's against the Jets, a tough defense.
Oh, yeah.
Would you look to stream, or are you just gonna, if he's good to go, you're nervous he might get hurt again, and maybe they're gonna limit his rushing?
I'd play Colt McCoy over Justin Fields.
Wow, bold. What I
Call
like.
me.
And it's true. It was the boldest tip of us all.
Comment?
I don't know if I can do that. I don't know.
I don't know either. All right. What about Trevor Lawrence? He's a top QB, top 12 QB in the past 4 out of 5 games, guys. So he's fresh off his bye. He has Baltimore. Maybe not the best matchup. But then he has Detroit and Tennessee. Could be a good streaming option, 60% rostered. He has some rushing upside as well, especially when you get down to the goal line. So I don't mind picking him up. Say Justin Fields is like, all right, we got to shut him down this week. Give him a rest. See if you can pick up Trevor Lawrence with some upside here.
Baltimore is not a bad matchup. They're middle of the pack. I feel like you had 2 points of like being skewed a little bit. You had the Dolphins game, and then you had the Carolina game. So it was like a crazy Tua game and a shit Baker Mayfield game, and now it's balanced. So it's about
I got you.
Middle of the
pack. Speaking of spectacular amazeballs, Tua, he's facing Houston, guys, and they are a stellar defense, man. They are giving up the 4th and least amount of points to the QB position because they're just so dominant. No, it's the run game. So would you start the passing leader, the number 1 in Tua? Well, touchdown to interception ratio, touchdown attempts, yards per completion, the percentage leader. All right, enough about Tua. But it might just be a run-heavy game. So do we bench Tua this week and we go with a streamer?
No.
I don't think so.
No. It's going to be run heavy, but there's no way he still doesn't get some extra work on the side.
I actually think they're trying to get him the MVP. So Mike McDaniel wants to show off his toys with the wide receivers too. So he's gonna find some way to expose Houston and still pass.
So that's a trick question, you jerk.
Kinda. I just want to see. I didn't want to be the biased opinion, guys. I don't know if you know, I'm a Miami fan. So,
and it's different because I think you got Tyreek who can just explode one for 75, 80 yards. So if you're just pounding the rock and then you do a couple play action passes to Tyreek and he's wide open, I could foresee something like that happening.
Problem is, I see Jeff Wilson just running for 60 yards for a touchdown.
That's true too. You're definitely playing Jeff Wilson. You're definitely playing Raheem Mostert. You're loading up those guys.
it's going to be over at halftime, so there's not much upside for Tua. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm worried about. So I don't mind streaming somebody else if you want to. You had to play somebody else last week. Hopefully you can play them again if they did well for you. Daniel Jones or Tua.
Or Marcus Mariota.
I was going to get there, you son of a bitch. We'll move down anyway. Probably no Thursday, guys. You probably want to wait. So Marcus Mariota, guys, hovering right at QB 13 weekly, but he's QB 9 on the season, rushing upside and stuff. So if you're pivoting from Fields or Tua, depending on the situation, he has Washington, who's been coming up pretty well on defense.
Demolish Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still playing Tua.
Still playing Tua over. Okay. I would too. I would too. Ryan Tannehill against Cincinnati, guys. It's going to be a competitive game. He was QB 9 and then 11 these past 2 weeks. They had their bye week in there too. So another pivot option, Ryan Tannehill.
Treylon Burks back right now. It seems like it's helping him a bit.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into that later. But all right, I think we got plenty of QB options here. Let's move this along. I'm sorry. We'll move on. Which ones would you want to talk about? You want to talk about
Mackie starts this off like, oh, we can't hit every team, but we're gonna hit every QB.
I didn't say every team.
We're gonna hit one player from every position except for QB. Got all 32. Ready to rock and roll.
Barely touching the tips.
Running backs.
All right. Miami running backs, you're starting them. Yep. This one, Rachaad White was pretty hot before the bye week because of taking over the workload when Fournette went out. If they're going against Cleveland and we get some news that, all right, they're going to be splitting, are you willing to put Rachaad White, your RB2 or your flex?
Yes.
First Cleveland, yeah.
All right.
I gave advice to put him in last week against Seattle.
You did? Yeah, I like the play. He might be a league winner for you. Brian Robinson disappointed last week. Gibson got most of the work, but they did split. They were against Houston, but Atlanta, another great matchup. RB2s for you as well, or would you rather play David Montgomery against the Jets, who are pretty good against the run? You got to play the matchups, or are you going with the talent?
I'm just going Montgomery because there's no one to split with him in general. But I guess they do have is it Ebner.
Yeah, he doesn't get involved that much though.
Yeah, I think I'd go Montgomery in general. I don't feel like trying to figure out who's getting the backfield. Who's McKissick? JD McKissick.
He's on the
out.
IR. He's
done. So he's out. So that what I'm saying is it just helps out this backfield. It slims it down from 3 to 2, which is great. Sadly, I know nothing against McKissick. I love the guy, but it's still. I think I got to go Montgomery. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, Montgomery doesn't have the competition right now with Herbert out, so I think you got to roll with him for sure.
Washington rushes the ball around 50 times per game with Curtis Samuel as well, so they got the opportunities.
What about if Justin Fields is out?
This is the scenario I was trying to paint. What about him? Oh, with Montgomery?
Still playing Montgomery?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even know
more.
Who's it? Nick Folt? Who's the backup for Chicago? Not important. But yeah, they're gonna have to run the ball more volume to him.
Jay Cutler? Imagine.
I would love it.
That's so good. Smoking underneath his helmet.
I think you could go. Did you bring up your Denver or Baltimore running backs yet?
I did not. I was about to get there. All right. So say Melvin Gordon's gone now. So Latavius Murray getting the bulk of the workload. Would you rather go with one of them over disappointing Brian Robinson or Montgomery? Fields isn't there.
It's matchup dependent for me. I think you're getting about the same probably out of Latavius as you are Brian Robinson, although you might get a little bit more work in the passing game with Latavius than Robinson just because he's the only one there.
Yep.
So his chance he gets a few targets. But yeah, so I'd say it's matchup dependent for me.
Well, Denver's going against Carolina, so Baltimore running backs couldn't get too much going, so we'll see if Denver can. I don't like it.
Guys, Trevor Siemian is the backup QB.
Seaman. He actually did all right as a streamer one time for New Orleans last year. What was I going to say? God damn it. Deonta Foreman for Carolina going against Denver. Sit for me.
Yep.
I should avoid him. I'd rather play Latavius on the other side, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
If Mixon's out, Samaje Perine is he in your lineup? I know how much you love him, Ryan. Okay.
Yes, because he's going to be used in the passing game for sure. Right. Just not to the same extent you saw last week, but
against Tennessee, the last 4 games they're giving up 10 to 14 points to a running back against them, whoever the number 1 running back is. So, nothing crazy. James Robinson versus Chicago. They're doing a little bit better against the run. He only had 7 carries, though, against New England. So I don't know if they're going to trust Zach Wilson for the game. And they're like, you know what? We're going to run the ball 40 times.
Mac, I kind of agree with you, but it's kind of hard to bait. We just don't know. It's gonna be a guessing game. And if I got to guess, I'm benching.
Hopefully you don't have to depend on these guys.
Like you said, no buys. So it's like you can probably go for Latavius Murray. You could probably play Samaje Perine. You could probably play Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson. Like you have so many guys to choose from. I just don't know if it's the week for James Robinson. Isn't there another like buy heavy week coming up? Is it next week?
Week 14 Week 14 is the major one. Yep.
I think James Robinson's probably a name you bring up around that point.
Okay. DeAndre Swift or James Robinson?
Swift.
I'd say Swift just because he's still getting some goal line work and more opportunity in the goal line, but
passing
and some work in the passing game.
Only 10 touches, but then James Robinson only got 7. So yeah, this is kind of what you're.
Neither really. It's a
garbage time for Swift.
All right. Isaiah Pacheco. He's getting the whole workload. They have the Rams. Yep. Would you rather have him or James Robinson? The number 1 running back on the best offense in the league.
Yeah, I think I'd rather go Pacheco just because I think the pass game. This is the opposite as we talked about with Tom Brady. I think it's the passing game for the Chiefs is going to open up the run game naturally. So we'll see.
All right. Regan's favorite part, wide receivers here. Christian Watson. Regan, automatic start. He has 5 touchdowns in 2 games.
Something in my head tells me it can't continue, but I keep benching him and he keeps getting touchdowns and it's pissing me off.
I know. I picked him up and I'm like, I want to see if he can do it again. Well, he's heating up.
It's so bad though. Some of these drops he has are like atrocious. And then some of these, these routes he runs though, he just runs fade routes all day.
Big body, long stride to get away from people. But the best thing is that they're involving him in their game plan. The game script is for him. And hopefully they're not
out.
Yep. They're not playing. Hopefully they're not playing from ahead because they'll just run it with Aaron Jones. We're facing Philly Sunday night. But their defense is being exposed now. Jeff Saturday almost coached them into a loss. So we'll see.
How close was I with that pick?
So close.
So close. I was so pissed. I'm like, come on. That did me in. That and the Bears, both of those games.
I'm willing to flex them. Devontae Smith, definitely. Guys, he's moving up without Goddard. And AJ Brown's been disappointing. So expecting more targets. He gets you around 13 points. Would you rather Allen Lazard or Devontae Smith?
I think Smith.
I'm going to say Lazard this week. I think he's in for a bounce back week.
Okay. Allen Robinson versus Kansas City.
No, fuck Allen Robinson.
No. What are you talking about? He's a red zone target. He had like 15 points this past week.
Matt Stafford is out. He's concussed. John Wofford is playing quarterback. He's got to get into the red zone to get into opportunities in the red zone.
I got you.
He'll probably still put up 18 points because I'm trashing on him. That's how this podcast works.
Probably. George
They
Pickens,
listen.
guys. Rushing touchdown versus New Orleans and a receiving touchdown versus Cincinnati. Going against Indy, would you rather him or Michael Pittman, who's been a pretty disappointing draft capital guy that you took in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round? Pittman won't get you the boom, but he'll get you double-digit points. Would you rather go with Pickens, the flashy new rookie?
Oh, I like Pittman better.
Oh man, yeah, I like Pittman better still, but I like Pickens.
If I'm projected to lose by like 10 points, I'm gonna go with Pickens. Go for the big upside, I think.
So
he hasn't had a boom game yet either, though. You know, he's kind of been much of the same, although he's got a little bit more touchdown upside, I guess.
Yeah. He's had one boom
Just
game,
saying.
right? 20 points. Pittman hasn't gotten in the 20
Yeah,
point range.
Apparently, in fantasy, boom games are like 38 points or more because
I
there's
guess
one guy that does it.
I guess if that's what the scale we're going on, pardon me. Treylon Burks, guys, rookie guys, they seem to be the trend right now. They're so hot right now. He topped over 100 yards on that last play, but he's going against Cincinnati. They're depending on him to make a clutch play like that at the end of the game. So, like his upside, Ryan, you going with Treylon Burks or Paris Campbell, your boy?
I love Paris Campbell. Oh, man. All right, so you got Treylon versus Cincy. Who are the Colts playing?
Pittsburgh.
Paris Campbell. Paris Campbell. That's who I'm going with.
He's better chance.
To answer your question, Pittman has had 2 games over 26 points. Pickens has not crossed 20 yet in PPR.
News.
Really?
But the 2 games Pittman got over 26 was Houston and Jacksonville.
First,
So,
yeah.
Who's he playing this week?
Cincy.
Perfect.
Cincinnati, so highly competitive game.
Oh, no, he's playing Pitt, right? Pittman?
Treylon Burks is playing Cincinnati. Sorry. Pittman is
fault.
playing. No, I was looking at the line above him. Paris Campbell, yes. Indy is playing Pittsburgh. God damn. We moved on from Pittman. Don't correct me. All right, fine. I will go with Pittman. I switch it. You changed my mind. Tyler Boyd, guys. A little bit disappointing. Drake London, 1 catch, 2 yards, but he had a touchdown with that and no pits. So who do you want more? Tyler Boyd without Jamar Chase. If Jamar Chase is in, you're benching Boyd, right?
No, it's the opposite. If Jamar Chase is out, the more opportunity for Boyd, the worse he does. The worse.
Oh, okay. Let's put a bet on it then.
Okay.
That's what it feels like for me. I have Tyler Boyd. Unless he's just hot and cold, regardless of the situation, he could be wide receiver 1. All the opportunity in the world. Still put up 5 points.
I got you. The thing is, you're looking at the rankings this week, and it's early, but there are a crap ton of wide receivers to pick from. So nobody on bye week. So you basically have your auto starts. But if you do have a question, do hit us up. It is a bit tricky with the wide receiver position. What's not tricky, though, is tight end. Travis Kelce, you start him. I'm just kidding. It's like 100.
You start him.
Travis Kelce is almost 100 points more than Mark Andrews at second place.
Crazy.
It's let me pull this up, but yeah, Juwan Johnson is the number 7 tight end on the year and only 24% rostered. Ryan, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Why aren't people playing Juwan Johnson?
I don't know. I mean, is Taysom Hill still number 6, or is he's probably back to like 8 or 9?
No, he's dropped.
Yeah, I dropped Taysom Hill. I'm done with him. Juwan Johnson, though, he's been banking on touchdowns. So, yeah, but that's what you got to do with tight ends. And if he's number 7, you could do worse. Like Evan Ingram, he is back. Do you want him? Baltimore, Detroit, Tennessee coming up. Definitely against Detroit. So I don't know if I want him against Baltimore. But he gets you, 8 points floor play for tight ends. If you just lost Kyle Pitts and you've been banging your head against the wall starting him, look for Evan Ingram, 37% rostered. But yeah, tight end scoring, guys. Guess how many points total Kelsey has on the year?
He had 100 and something like 5 weeks ago. I'm going to say
Yeah,
170.
Say 210.
178.
Way higher, Regan. Way higher.
210.
A little bit higher, but Ryan, you're pretty close. 223 is Kelsey's total.
Right.
And guess second place for Mark Andrews. This is PPR points.
40.
Ryan?
No.
You said almost 100 points, 130.
133 points for Mark Andrews.
But all right. Well, Andrew's been hurt. He's been
doesn't
got
matter.
knocked out of a game, missed a game, 5 weeks.
All right. Back to other tight ends that you are probably struggling to get one. K. Dotton, 8% roster versus Cleveland. He's involved in the plays. Brady is throwing to him when he needs to be bailed out. So put this in your
red zone plays for him.
Exactly. And on the hurry up offense, he's passing to him as well, not just on that touchdown winning play against the Rams, but week 16 versus Arizona. Say you don't want to stack two defenses, you got a defense locked in, but you might want to, all right, I have streaming tight ends. If you go back to part 1, we talked about strategies heading into the playoffs. Week 16 versus Arizona. They are the worst against tight end. They just let up a huge touchdown to George Kittle tonight. So K. Dotton will be, spoiler alert. K. Dotton will be a top 5 tight end that week. Calling it out. We'll see.
Wow, okay.
I'm
writing everything down today.
A gross name to think about.
We haven't recorded. You don't. Go ahead.
Jonnu Smith. He's had 3 catches or more in the last 3 games.
And a fumble with nobody touching him.
And a fumble. I mean, he's only scored 17 points in 3 games, but what's that, like tight end 9?
In the past 3 weeks, yeah, probably. Defenses, Miami coming off their bye. You can get them. They're versus Houston, Denver versus Carolina. Thank you, Baker Mayfield. And the Washington Commanders against Atlanta without Pitts now. It might even be more of a struggle for them to move that offense. So, little defensive streamers for you.
Now we got Cordell Patterson burning from the end zone, breaking records.
Yeah. Ryan, how come kickoff returns for a touchdown don't count in our Dynasty League, huh?
What?
I don't know. I just hit the renew button, Mac.
I didn't start.
I go to standard PPR, and I hit the reset button every year.
Shit commish.
And whatever happens.
It just happens.
That's it.
Well, let's see what happens in our risque starts and sits.
All we do is sit around here and guess what a bunch of little pricks are going to go and do out there. Then we come back at half time and we complain because they didn't do exactly what we thought they'd do.
So I don't remember if I play that drop when we recap it or when we do it. So forgive me. I'm just going to play it both anyway. I know you made it. It's great. I did. You did. Yeah. Who do you got for a risque start, Regan?
I got Sky Moore, Kansas City rookie.
Ooh.
5 for 6, 63 yards this past week. They're starting to get him in the offense. As we know, Kadarius Toney's down. Juju Smith-Schuster, we don't know if he's going to play. MVS is absolutely a horrible wide receiver. It's just it seems like they're just going to get him in there and they're going to use him, and they don't really have a choice. They really started him off on special teams, kick returns, and they're actually getting him into the offense now. So I'm expecting him to have a minimum about 10 PPR points this week for a flex play, and he definitely has high boom potential with his speed on a play in general. So I think he's a safe play for at least 10 PPR points minimum.
I don't mind it. Kansas City is just, what if Juju's back? You still want to?
I think you could still play him.
Yeah. Okay. It's just a very random offense. The only consistent player is Mahomes and Kelsey. So yeah, it was Juju for like 4 week stretch there. So a little nervous for it, but not bad. My start, risque start, it is. But Garrett Wilson of the Jets, they're playing Chicago. They're weak. He's pissed off. They may do a change at quarterback. And I think they're just going to try to feed him because I don't know if you guys heard his locker room interview. But he was pretty pissed off. Not like outraged, but he was containing himself pretty well. But hopefully they feed him the ball to make him happy. If I'm playing 3 wide receivers and I have a flex, I don't mind throwing him in there. Which reminds me, Thanksgiving players, get them out of your flex position. Probably should have said that at the top. Maybe I can insert that in. Ryan, insert us with your risque start tip.
I already briefly touched on it. Khalif Raymond. Last week played 57 of 67 snaps. So DJ Chark isn't 100%. It's a short week. Chark really isn't going to be all that involved. They're likely playing from behind. They're likely airing it out. Someone, Mac, you said it. Someone always goes off on Thanksgiving. Someone surprising.
Somebody that nobody expects. Yep.
He's going to play 85, 86% of the snaps. He's probably going to get a bunch of targets. They might lock up on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, I don't know. I think he's a good play.
Yeah, try, but they can't defeat the sun god. All right. I like it. Regan, give me your terrible take on a sit here. What are we doing?
We're sitting Darnell Mooney. If you're me, he's been doing pretty good in general. Last week, he kind of, he didn't do too much. He's been averaging around 50 yards. He's been getting a couple touchdowns here and there, though, and that's really what's been pushing him or propelling him forward. Even as Justin Fields plays this week, they're playing the Jets. He'll probably have Sauce Gardner covering him. That hasn't been good for other wide receivers in general. I think I want to try to avoid this passing game in general. Fields dislocated shoulder. We don't know if he's going to play. We could have Trevor Siemian in as quarterback. I think I'm gonna wait it out on Darnell Mooney. He's really going to become touchdown dependent in general.
It's his non-throwing shoulder, though.
Correct.
I think he went over that in the Hurt Locker, but that's in part 1. So just want to make sure, remind people. I just think Fields isn't going to run the ball so much. He's going to hand it off or have to throw it. So let's make a bet. Darnell Mooney does better.
He gets over. Just say he gets over 50 yards.
Over 50 yards? Oh, yeah. I'll take that bet.
All right. Well, let's say 56. Over 56.
56.5 yards. He gets over. All right. My sit.
Okay.
My sit, guys. I hate to do this. It kills me. Chris Olave. Big fan of him. Mostly a start for me all year. He is wide receiver. I had this up, Ryan, and you are not going to believe this. Guess where he ranks wide receivers overall?
Shoot.
11. He is right behind Amari Cooper in PPR format. So,
wow.
But he it's a big playability. I just don't think San Fran's going to allow that. So I just think with all the receivers that you have back, nobody on a bye week. I know the metrics, all those nerds out there. Oh, most yards run per route and all that. Yes, you are right, as long as they connect. But that means Andy Dalton has to connect. Their offensive line is having some troubles too. And against San Fran, I just don't trust it. So he's a sit for me.
All right.
Say it. Who do you got?
You didn't learn from my mistakes. Christian Watson is a sit for me this week. Philly's the 8th best against the receiver position. I think the game against Dallas was a little bit of a fluke. Puts up 2 scores against Tennessee, who's a very weak secondary. And I wouldn't be surprised if he just gets a little bit more focused this week, which I think might open up Allen Lazard a bit more. And that's why I think Allen Lazard is a decent play this week.
I gotcha. I
like
like
this
it.
one.
He was heating up though.
Oh,
who would you rather play, Chris Olave or Christian Watson?
God, you guys suck. Olave.
It's Olave for me, just based off
All right.
the volume alone.
I'm gonna go with Watson. All right, put that bet down.
Oh, God damn it! Keep having
I
it
mean,
right.
Hopkins is 8 for 86 against San Fran right now, so it's
Yeah,
not,
but
impossible.
he's a beast though, and he's a vet, and he's coming off the
Sorry.
juice. So
9 for 91.
no, damn it. How much does Christian McCaffrey have?
7 for 67 for receiving.
Wow.
36 yards on the ground.
All right, as long as I'm keeping pace, I'm okay.
Keeping pace. 2 points behind.
Yeah, I was ahead by like 10, so it's okay. All right, guys, let's before we get to our game predictions, winners and losers of the matchups, takers out there, if you have any questions, hit us up. Just a tip, FFP. Download our episodes, share our tips with your friends and family, especially your moms. We love that. They love us. And your league mates, even if you don't like our tips, steer them wrong. Steer them right to our tips, and they're wanting. I'm just saying, if they don't like it, but if they do like it,
true. It's true.
Still.
Odds are, if you don't like it, you want to mess somebody up.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Boost our confidence.
We put a lot of work into this. I feel bad.
We do put a lot of work into so many. Speaking of, if you want to help us out, reach out. Let's get into our predictions.
Let us gingerly touch our tips.
All right, we already did Thanksgiving matchups in part 2. So Sunday, Houston at Miami. Miami's -12.
Miami.
Denver, Carolina. Over under 36. Holy cow. I do not want any.
That's shitty. I'm going Denver again. Keeps biting me in the ass, but I'll do it.
Yeah. If it's Baker Mayfield, I'm going Denver.
Good call.
Did you see the stat a couple weeks ago that if Denver scored 18 points in all their games, they would have only lost one game all year? I think that was like two weeks ago. It's
That's
bad.
Literally all they wanted from Russ this year. That's it. Like
Just
they were
get
like,
20.
we just need an upgrade from Drew Lock, who's averaging 13 points a game.
Yeah.
They downgraded.
Well, either about the same or worse.
Unfortunately, this one surprised me. Over under 43.5. Tampa Bay favored by 3 against Cleveland. I think that's going to hit the over. I'm going to go Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tampa as well.
You'd said Tampa, right, Regan?
Yep.
Oh.
Baltimore at Jacksonville.
Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore. Chicago at the Jets. Fields keeps on losing. He's been doing great, but they keep on losing. Do the Jets implode or do they bounce back?
I think the Jets just run the ball.
I'm gonna go Chicago. I just think the locker room's falling apart, and it's gonna be hard to pull them together.
I'm going Chicago too. Who are you running with? Michael Carter or James Robinson? I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll go Chicago too, just because I hate the Jets.
Both. But yeah, they better put the ball in James Robinson's hands. Cincinnati at Tennessee. This one's a tough one, guys.
Cincinnati.
At Tennessee.
Oh wait,
At
no,
Tennessee.
they have no Joe Mixon. Oh, Tennessee.
I think they're
It's
weak
tough.
at pass defense, but like they could have beaten the Chiefs if they had Tannehill instead of Malik Willis.
Yeah, I'll say Tennessee.
They only passed like 5 times. Yeah, I'm gonna go Tennessee. Atlanta at Washington. Oof, can't wait to watch this game.
It's a close one. Washington, keep it going, man. Keep it going.
Heineke.
Yeah. Washington.
How does he not just drink Heineken?
He should be sponsored by
He had
him.
a Busch Light on the plane. What a dummy.
He needs to get sponsored. Chargers at Arizona.
Chargers.
Man.
Yeah, Chargers.
If Murray, I don't know. Even Colt McCoy is doing okay.
Is he? I just saw the score.
I'll say Arizona. This is early in the week to make these predictions. I think
It really is. It's kind of a waste of time to do this. Okay, yeah,
keep going.
Finish off strong, guy.
Come
Don't
on.
be negative all the time.
I'm almost there. I will finish.
Oh yeah.
I feel like this is
Now Las Vegas at Seattle.
Gross. Yeah.
It's not gross.
Seattle.
I think this is gonna be a great game.
I think I'm gonna go.
Lots of points to be scored. You are an idiot. Rams at Kansas City. Oh my gosh. They're favored by 14.5.
I didn't even hear you say the other team, but I'm gonna say Kansas City.
The Rams.
Oh yeah. Definitely Kansas City. Holy crap.
New Orleans at San Fran.
Yep.
San Fran.
Green Bay at Philly. Gotta go Philly,
yeah.
Wow. And Pittsburgh at Indy. Does Jeff Saturday go 2-1?
I think he does. I think they're doing pretty well with him, man.
Dude,
all they had to do was Paris Campbell got them down to the 5-yard line.
I know.
With 4 minutes left. All they had to do was punch it in. Game was over.
All right, yeah, I'll go with Indy too. It's early enough, so we'll change this anyway. So
or
takers
stop them on 4th down.
Or just stop them.
Yeah,
their defense is good though. If only they would have a quarterback that they would start consistently and not change the quarterback every year.
The gap that Jalen Hurts had on that 3rd and goal, it was like 2 miles wide.
Yeah,
it's like he snapped the ball. Everybody just separated and
literally could drive a bus through it.
Oh, for sure.
It was absurd. It was enjoyable to watch because I have him in fantasy, but
not for me.
It's good stuff. Leftovers, guys. Thanksgiving Day game. So for the high school team, go get them. If you're listening, kids.
Good luck, boys.
Go to bed. Get some rest.
It's the funnest game, and then it all ends.
What's your favorite Macy's Day float? Macy's Parade.
Regan, I think we got.
It has to be Clifford. Dude, it's the best
Clifford.
one.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
Who the hell watches?
So. That movie just came out like 2 years ago.
The Pikachu one's always pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
It's not a float, it's a balloon, I guess, but same thing.
They're floating.
They are floating.
Sure.
Either way.
You guys have anything up? No. All right.
No, either way, us, the tippers, we just want to thank everybody for following us, helping us out. Have a great Thanksgiving with your families. Yes. Enjoy yourself. Got some good football games for the most part to watch, which is awesome. I know me and Ryan, we got the Patriots to watch. Mac's somewhat of a fan on the side. He secretly loves them. But at least we got the Patriots on the late game. That kind of sucks, actually. I don't like them being on the late game.
No?
But either way, enjoy it. Have fun. It's some family time.
I think late game's great. Get everybody out of the house. That way you can sit and enjoy it. You're not distracted.
I gotta go to my mom's, though. And me getting out of there is just a shit show.
Gotcha. It's 8:30 though. Get out of there.
Fuck you,
well, you're just saying. Takers, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Your mom's probably gonna get stuff harder than the turkey.
Oh my god!
Hey, I get free shots now on your mom's.
I was wondering how long it was gonna take to get there.
Less than 2 minutes usually.